Summary and Review of The Match King by Frank Partnoy. Introduction. The Match King by Frank Partnoy is a compelling financial biography that delves into the life of Ivar Kreuger, a Swedish industrialist and financier, whose rise and fall in the early 20th century epitomized the perils of unchecked ambition and financial deceit. Known as the Match King for his monopoly on the global matchstick industry, Kreuger built a sprawling financial empire, but his success was built on a house of cards. Partnoy's book chronicles Kreuger's life, his financial maneuvers, and the eventual collapse that shook the financial world. Early life and rise to power. Ivar Kreuger was born in Sweden in 1880 into a family with a modest background. His early life was marked by an exceptional aptitude for mathematics and engineering, which later led him to pursue a career in construction and engineering. Kreuger quickly gained a reputation for his innovative construction methods, particularly in the development of reinforced concrete. His early ventures laid the foundation for his later success, but it was his foray into the match industry that truly defined his career. In the early 20th century, matches were an essential commodity, and Kreuger recognized the potential for monopolizing this industry. By leveraging his engineering expertise and financial acumen, Kreuger began acquiring match factories across Europe. He secured exclusive rights to produce and sell matches in several countries, effectively creating a global monopoly. His strategy was to offer loans to governments in exchange for these monopolies, a move that not only expanded his empire but also endeared him to political leaders desperate for financial support. The creation of the Kreuger Empire. Kreuger's financial empire expanded rapidly throughout the 1920s. He diversified his interests beyond matches, investing in industries such as mining, banking, and real estate. His financial innovations, including the use of complex financial instruments and aggressive leverage, allowed him to amass vast amounts of capital. Kreuger was lauded as a financial genius, and his companies attracted investments from around the world. Partnoy does an excellent job of detailing Kreuger's financial strategies, many of which were groundbreaking at the time. Kreuger pioneered the use of convertible bonds and preferred shares, instruments that allowed him to raise funds without diluting his control over his companies. He also mastered the art of financial secrecy, maintaining tight control over his company's financial statements and limiting access to auditors. Kreuger's charisma and reputation for success allowed him to cultivate relationships with some of the most influential people in the world. He was seen as a savior of economies, particularly in Europe, where his loans to governments helped stabilize economies in the aftermath of World War I. His empire became a symbol of modern capitalism, and he was often compared to other financial titans of the era, such as J.P. Morgan and John D. Rockefeller. The deception beneath the success. Despite his outward success, Kreuger's empire was built on a foundation of deceit. Partnoy reveals how Kreuger engaged in a vast network of financial manipulation to maintain the illusion of profitability. Kreuger used funds from new investors to pay dividends to existing investors, a classic Ponzi scheme structure. He also engaged in creative accounting, inflating the value of his assets and understating his liabilities. Kreuger's financial statements were often works of fiction, designed to keep investors and regulators in the dark about the true state of his empire. One of Kreuger's most audacious moves was the creation of a shadow banking system that allowed him to bypass traditional financial institutions. He issued bonds directly to investors, using the proceeds to fund his various ventures. These bonds were often backed by dubious assets, and Kreuger used complex financial engineering to mask the risks. His ability to maintain this deception for so long was a testament to his financial acumen and his understanding of human psychology. Kreuger knew that investors wanted to believe in his success, and he exploited that desire to the fullest. Partnoy provides a detailed account of how Kreuger's empire began to unravel in the early 1930s. The global economic downturn following the stock market crash of 1929 exposed the weaknesses in Kreuger's financial structure. As the demand for matches declined and the value of his investments plummeted, Kreuger struggled to maintain the illusion of solvency. His desperate attempts to raise capital, including forging Italian government bonds, only hastened his downfall. The collapse and aftermath. The collapse of Kreuger's empire was swift and devastating. In March 1932, Kreuger was found dead in his Paris apartment, the victim of an apparent suicide. His death sent shockwaves through the financial world, and the subsequent investigation revealed the extent of his deception. Investors lost billions of dollars, and many of Kreuger's companies were forced into bankruptcy. Partnoy's account of the aftermath of Kreuger's collapse is both fascinating and sobering. The scandal led to widespread calls for financial reform, and many of the regulations that govern modern financial markets can trace their origins to the Kreuger debacle. The collapse also shattered the myth of the infallible financial genius, serving as a cautionary tale for future generations of investors and regulators. Review: the complexity of financial innovation and morality. The Match King is more than just a biography. It is a meditation on the nature of financial innovation and the moral dilemmas that come with it. Partnoy does an excellent job of exploring the duality of Kreuger's character. On one hand, Kreuger was a visionary who recognized the potential of modern finance to transform industries and economies. His innovations in financial instruments and corporate governance were ahead of their time, and many of his ideas are still in use today. On the other hand, Kreuger was a con artist who used his brilliance to deceive and manipulate. Partnoy does not shy away from the ethical questions raised by Kreuger's actions. Was Kreuger a product of his time, operating in a financial system that encouraged risk-taking and rewarded success at any cost? Or was he a uniquely immoral figure, willing to betray the trust of thousands of investors for his personal gain? Partnoy's writing is engaging and accessible, making complex financial concepts understandable to the average reader. He weaves together historical context, financial analysis, and personal narrative to create a compelling portrait of Kreuger and the world he inhabited. The book is meticulously researched, with Partnoy drawing on a wide range of sources, including contemporary accounts, archival materials, and interviews with experts. One of the strengths of The Match King is its exploration of the broader implications of Kreuger's story. Partnoy argues that Kreuger's rise and fall are emblematic of the dangers of financial markets that lack transparency and oversight. The book serves as a warning about the perils of unchecked financial innovation and the importance of regulation in preventing future crises. Critique: the limits of ambition. While The Match King is a compelling read, it is not without its flaws. Some readers may find Partnoy's portrayal of Kreuger to be overly sympathetic at times. Although Partnoy clearly condemns Kreuger's actions, he also seems to admire Kreuger's ambition and ingenuity. This nuanced portrayal may leave some readers questioning whether Kreuger deserves the level of understanding that Partnoy affords him. Additionally, the book occasionally gets bogged down in the minutiae of financial transactions and corporate structures. While these details are important to understanding Kreuger's schemes, they can be overwhelming for readers who are not well versed in finance. However, Partnoy does his best to explain these concepts in a clear and concise manner, and most readers will find the book accessible. Despite these minor criticisms, The Match King is a powerful and thought-provoking book that offers valuable insights into the nature of financial markets and the human capacity for both creativity and deceit. Partnoy's exploration of Kreuger's life and legacy is a reminder that even the most brilliant minds can be led astray by the pursuit of power and wealth. Conclusion: a cautionary tale for the modern era. The Match King is a must-read for anyone interested in the history of finance, corporate governance, and the ethical challenges of capitalism. Ivar Kreuger's story is a cautionary tale that remains relevant today, as the world continues to grapple with the fallout from financial crises and the ongoing debate over the role of regulation in the markets. Frank Partnoy's book is a masterful blend of biography, financial analysis, and moral inquiry. It challenges readers to consider the fine line between innovation and deception, and the consequences of allowing ambition to run unchecked. As we look to the future of finance, The Match King serves as a reminder that the lessons of the past should not be forgotten. Kreuger's legacy is a testament to the power of financial innovation, but also a warning of the dangers that come with it. This summary and review of The Match King by Frank Partnoy provides a comprehensive overview of the book's key themes, historical context, and broader implications. If you have any specific questions or need further elaboration, feel free to ask.